G'day, I'm Shane from BMXultra.com, and today we're going to talk about rim tape options. So you might find on new bikes you've got like a rubber tube style rim tape. They're not much good. You don't want to get rid of those. And there might be some people out there that are a little bit lazy like me and sometimes will wrap their rims with insulation tape. Now, insulation is probably a good temporary solution, but not a permanent one. And you'll see, if you take a close look, little dimples in each of the spoke holes, which is caused by the tire pressure. So eventually what's going to happen is around the edge of those nipple holes is a little bit sharp, and eventually it'll cut through with the help of the stretch of the material and eventually cause a puncture, which is completely avoidable. So if you have either of these two options, remove them, and we're going to show you some better options. So I'm going to remove my tape now. So there you go, you can see your nipples now, there's no tape or anything on there. It may or may not require cleaning, this one doesn't. So we've been provided with two options. So we've got these Veloplugs, which you can see here. And we've also got the Answer rim tape. So the Answer rim tape comes in 24mm or 14mm widths. So you've got your larger size wheel and smaller wheels. And they can fit, or you've got enough tape in each roll for up to a 24-inch wheel. So you've got 2 rolls in each packet. So I was talking to Gary at ECI Imports, and he highly recommended these Answer rim tapes. What he did say though was there's also an alternative which they also have, which are called Veloplugs. So the Veloplugs are supposed to be a whole lot lighter, you're talking about 5 grams per wheel, than normal rim tape. But what he recommended for BMX was to use the Veloplugs and then also wrap them with the Answer tape. The idea behind that is, as you saw before, the tire pressure was pushing holes in the tape that I had on there. The Velo solutions are a little tiny plastic, hard plastic cap, which is highly rated when it comes to tire pressure. So that'll mean you pop that in there, and from now on we won't get little indents in our tape. So there should be enough in a bag to do 2 full wheel sets. We'll just do 1 wheel set. We'll firstly go over it with the Veloplugs and then run the tape around it. So pretty much all you're going to need is a pair of scissors to cut the end of the tape. Okay, so we've got our Veloplugs in place, so you can see them there on every hole, apart from obviously the valve hole, which is just there. We're leaving that open. So you want to go around once you've got all of your Veloplugs in. Make sure they're all in nice and firm, because we are going over them with the tape. We don't want them sitting up. Okay, so if you're using the Veloplug solution only with no tape, you're talking about 5 grams of weight involved. And I've read that a cloth equivalent obviously doesn't stop that problem where we had the doming before. Is about 20 to 25 grams. So in this case it is a little bit heavier to run the Veloplugs and tape, but we're not going to have any problems with these tubes once we get these in, apart from obviously anything external from the rim. So punches caused by either low tire pressure or by a foreign object piercing your tube and tire. Alright, so we're going to put the Answer rim tape on now. So the rim tape has a little band on there, and as you can see, an adhesive tape with it's an adhesive tape with a backing, and it has a hole for the valve hole. So we'll find our valve hole and marry the two up. So as you're sticking the tape down, just firmly pulling on it, making sure it's nice and tight, and also pulling away the backing from the adhesive at the same time, which is easier said than done. Okay, I don't know if it's entirely necessary, but you see here we have our rim hole, valve hole again. So what I would normally do is double over the top of the valve hole, cut the tape there, open up the valve hole. So the valve is going through both ends of the tape and essentially holding it in position. So I'm going to cut that off there. You want to go ahead and find a knife and cleanly put a hole through your valve hole. So the trusty Stanley knife, just be careful when using sharp objects, we don't want anyone to hurt themselves. Find our valve hole, which is here. So I haven't cut the hole like the original hole. I've just put an X in there and made it big enough so that I can just push my valve in. So there's a matter of reinstalling the tyre. Valve going through the valve hole. You can see that come through. Tyres on and it's ready to pump up. So if you're interested in finding out more about the Answer rim tape that we have and the Veloplugs, be sure to look them up. Both very valid individual options, but alternatively you're looking at probably the ultimate option with having the tape and the Veloplugs together. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.